Hello, welcome to Dundrell's podcast. But before we start with our review for the Dragon Reborn, just want to remind you guys for our next review, we're going to review World of Darkness Vampire by Richard Lee Byers. This is Netherworld, sorry. Or Neuromancer by William Gibson. This is considered a cult classic in cyberpunk literature. So yeah, let me know which book you guys want me to review next on the channel. Alright, guys. So, today we're reviewing the 1991 fantasy novel, The Dragon Reborn, Book 3 of the Wheel of Time series, right? The previous book was The Great Hunt, which we loved, by the way. This is written by Robert Jordan, which, cool wraparound cover. A bit damaged. And if you look closely, you'll see a bite mark here and on page 56 here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, there's like a bite mark here and a bite mark there. Where I was, the day one of me reading this, I was babysitting my sister's new cat. She went vacation for the weekend. And on the last day I had her, I was reading this with her on my lap, and she bit the book between this and page 56. I guess she, I guess she didn't like it that I was reading it while I was spending time with her. Yeah. So yeah, the story for this book, and I do not know how much I can reveal without spoiling stuff. So there's going to be mild spoilers in this review. So the book takes place after Rand gets proclaimed by Moraine uh, as the Dragon Reborn and Falme. Rand, Perrin, and Loyal with Moraine and her warder Lan and a group of Shinerans warriors have been wintering with Rand al'Thor. But Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn, the main character of the book, who's barely in this book, by the way, by the way, we mostly get the POV treatment perspective from the other side characters like Egwene, Menev, Matt, which is this is the first book where we got his POV, and Perrin, right? So yeah, what happens is Rand starts to go a little crazy. He starts having these dreams of him holding the magic sword, the magic crystal sword, Kalandor, which Rand is destined to wield, right? Which is locked in a fortress called the Heart of the Stone, which is supposed to be the the biggest, strongest fortress since the breaking of the world, held in the city of Tyran, where it's illegal for people who are not nobles or rich merchants to carry around swords, right? And it's also illegal to use the One Power because the High Lords of Tyran hate anything to deal with the One Power, even though they have a lot of ancient relics from the breaking of the world, right? So Rand al'Thor, after having these nightmares, decides to go off on his own to Tyran to get the sword Kalandor, right? While that happens, Moraine, Lan, Perrin, and Loyal chase after Rand, while our other characters, Egwene, Menev, and Elaine, get punished for running away from the tower, only to find out, hey, that Leandrin, the red sister who betrayed them, it turned out to be a Black Aja, which is what they call the evil faction of the Aes Sedai, ran away from the tower with 12 sisters who stole like angreals, which are like the magic relics. The Emerald Seat decides to have Egwene, Menev, and Elaine track down and hunt the Black Aja, who are going to set a trap for Ran at the heart of the stone, right? While that's going on, Matrim is healed from his connection with the evil dagger, right? Which kind of sucked, because that evil dagger that he carried was very OP. It could one-shot everybody. Now he wields a quarterstaff and finally his magic power is revealed. He has the power of luck. Which allows him to gamble and make a shitload of money, right? Which he also uh, delivers a letter to Margasse, the queen of Ondorf, for Elaine, while encountering Tom Marilyn, the Gleeman, who joins on his adventure. What ends up happening is all of our characters converge on Tyran, where they encounter the Black Aja, Dark Friends, and even the new fallen who have released, who have come from like Shallow Ghoul, who are masquerading as nobles, right? So I enjoyed this book. It was a very easy read, right? Usually, I could tell if I like a book depending on how long it takes me to read. This book is almost 700 pages long. The story itself is only 677, and I breeze through it, right? And I did like that we got to see the different perspectives. I didn't just focus on Ran. We also got to, focus a lot with different characters like Perrin, who has a new girlfriend, who's supposed to have another girlfriend. It's prophesized that he's going to have another girlfriend. So we're seeing the Mormon roots of the author with our character Perrin, right? Whose girlfriend is a hunter of the horn, right? When she finds out that the horn was blown, she loses her shit. It was pretty funny, right? Yeah, it was cool to see the different perspectives. We got some new magic powers. Some of our characters got new powers. Like Egwene can and kind of see into the future, right? So does Perrin, kind of with his wolf dreams. Moraine learned Bayfire, which is an OP magical attack that can one-shot Fallen. Because in the climax of the first book, she got pretty owned by the Fallen. We need the offer needed to give her a new power up too, so she can actually be useful, and it's not just Ran fighting everybody, right? Which I would say the climax of the book was was pretty much the same with the last two books, but unlike the first one, he doesn't fly, right? So it was pretty much more of the same as the last one, where he has like a sword fight, he gains a new power, and then he wins, right? Which kind of a little bit disappointing, but I did think it was cool that his magic weapon was like a crystal sword. It's not like with other series where it's like a magic sword. Even though because he lost his father's sword, he had like this. Most of the book, he had this sword that he made with Sidon that was made out of fire, which was pretty cool actually. But like, yeah, the Crystal Sword was also pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of like '80s fantasy cartoons. Like, if you ever seen like series like Black Star, not yeah, Black Star, Thundar the Barbarian, and He-Man, where you have like crystal, like a non-conventional like looking sword. So that was pretty cool that they did something different, right? Where it's not like like special metal swords. Like it's a crystal sword that used with the one power turns into this blade of light, which is kind of like which is very like Star Wars esque, right? Like it's almost like a lightsaber, which is pretty cool. One problem I had with the book is like not a lot of screen time, which I don't know what the book equivalent of that is, but not a lot of screen time with Rand. This book, they mostly focus on the other characters, and there's like a scene where the book kind of hints that Rand is kind of crazy. So like, there's a scene where like he's at camp by himself, right? And this one female merchant and her guards show up, and out of nowhere, Rand summons this fire sword and kills all of them, beheads the female merchant first, and it's like, what I was when I first read that, I was like, what the fuck? And they never explained, hey, whether or not that was like they were dark friends or anything. Though we do know, hey, that dark friends are after our characters, right? And even like one of the characters from the last book, the dark friend questioner, in the beginning of the book, he gets conflicting orders from his White Cloak commander. He's told, hey, to protect the Dragon Reborn until they can come up with a strategy on how to capture him, right? While he gets orders from his dark friend leaders to like go and kill Rand, and then that character just disappears from the book. He's only in the beginning of the book. He's never in the book ever again, which, okay, like that was kind of weird. You set up this plot point and then you don't use him in the book, which this is a series, but usually these books are somewhat standalone, right? They do a good job of recapping stuff that happened in the previous book, so you can just jump on, right? Which I would never just jump onto a series, but that's they do a lot of recapping. I don't know if it's just for filler or because they expect, oh, random people might jump onto the book, right? Because, yeah. So, I don't know. That kind of bothered me because they never explained, okay, were they dark friends or did Rand this murder random people, right? And also, kind of miss, okay, what happened with some of their horses, like Red and Bella? Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, um, Red and Bella disappear from the books, which I know a lot of people that's not gonna bother them, but as an animal lover, that kind of bothers me, man. Like, what happened to them? But otherwise, I did enjoy the book, but like it did feel kind of filler-esque, and you kind of got more of the same kind of like ending that you did have in the other books, right? And not enough screen time with Rand, right? But otherwise, I did enjoy the book, and I would say it's a solid 7 out of 10. Kind of a step down from the first two, but still a good book. And it's nice to see that some of our characters are kind of becoming more badass as the series go on. Like Matt and like Perrin. Well, Perrin was kind of a badass in the first book, but like the second book. But here, Matt. If you're a fan of Matt really shines in this book, right? Even though he doesn't get the gratitude like he deserves, and I think that he didn't get the gratitude he deserved either, man. Oh my god. But yeah, good book, and I would totally recommend it. Though I hear like the series gets crappier after this, but we'll find out next month. We're reviewing these books monthly, by the way. So yeah, like I said in the beginning of the review, we're either going to review Neuromancer or this book, Vampire Netherworld. Let me know in the comments section.